Welcome again to the big match. What a wonderful Saturday for the well-being of football. The biggest crowds turned out yesterday for 4 years, a total of 762,064. Let's hope they were impressed enough to go again. I'm sure many of them were. There were certainly big crowds at our 3 matches, some 126,000, and they really got value for their money, as you'll be seeing. The 3 games all have a direct bearing on the top of the first and second division, and our main match is the London derby game between Arsenal and Queen's Park Rangers, and from that game we have our studio guests today, Liam Brady of Arsenal and Phil Parkes of Queen's Park Rangers. Also from the top of the first division, Leeds United, the team really running into form now, against Leicester City, and the clash at the top of the second division between the top 2, in fact, Bolton Wanderers and Sunderland. So a big match that's again packed with significant action, and for a start we go across to Highbury, where the flags have not been flying very proudly this season. Even so, there's a wonderful atmosphere in this 39,000 crowd for the local derby between Arsenal and Queen's Park Rangers. Both sides, in fact, had played 24 hours earlier on Boxing Day. This then is the scene for today's encounter. And Arsenal have made 2 changes from the side that lost to Ipswich as they come out onto the field led by Alan Ball. They're 18th in the table, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games and badly need a good result from this match today. Their opponents, Queen's Park Rangers, led out by England skipper Jerry Francis. They're right up there, 3rd in the first division table. They've lost only 1 of their last 10 games in the league, and they'll want to keep that sort of run going. Our first job, of course, is to catch up on the 2 teams for today. As I say, Arsenal have made those 2 changes from the side that lost at Ipswich. John Radford and Eddie Kelly are both left out. Sammy Nelson returns to number 3 and Frank Stapleton to number 9. QPR make a change from the side that beat Norwich. John Hollins is at 4 and his place at substitute goes to Mick Leach. But for one man, a special day with a special meaning. Frank McClintock of QPR, 36 today after 9 years at Arsenal. A chance to speak a moment ago with George Armstrong, and here with Peter Storey, another who enjoyed years of glory there with Frank. Now wearing the number 5 shirt for Arsenal, of course, young David O'Leary, getting better with every game. The referee is Bill Gow of Swansea, with the 2 men who've skippered England there doing the tossing up, Alan Ball and Jerry Francis. And that having been done, it's time for the start.
So it's Arsenal who get us away in this London derby with a lot of meaning to it. Attacking the goal to our right, red and white shirts, white shorts. Queen's Park Rangers today in blue and white hoops and blue shorts. The change of shorts so as not to clash with the right of Arsenal, and a free kick straight away for Queen's Park Rangers. Lying 3rd in the table, Arsenal in a certain amount of trouble now, 5 off the bottom. And as well as the reunions with Frank McClintock here, Dave Sexton, who used to be a coach here at Highbury, and Bobby Campbell on the left, who used to be a coach at Queen's Park Rangers. Nelson to Storey. Now Francis. Hassan, the long ball forward. O'Leary there for Arsenal, and here's Ball. Webb. Bowles scored twice here last year in a 2-2 draw, one of them from the penalty spot. Thomas to Bowles again. Turned inside instinctively, and well, Storey's being called to referee Gow. Storey, who was booked yesterday, and in fact only returned yesterday after suspension. Straightway there in a spot of bother with the referee. But a foul there on Thomas. So Gillard with the free kick. Floated towards the far post. Rimmer underneath it, and so too was Webb. Francis. Goal kick. Stapleton, Armstrong, here's Storey, Ball, Thomas hurdling that challenge again by Storey, and the referee coming again for Peter Storey, calling to him, and he'll have to go. Storey just can't ignore it. Now is this trouble for Peter Storey? I think the referee's giving him every chance. There's 2 talking tos, and Storey smiles, goes away. I hope for his sake he heeds the warning. Webb. Fintock playing it back. And now Brady with a chance to pounce for Arsenal. The gap was there for him and he's going on. He's gone past Webbs, he turns it in. Oh my goodness, and Stapleton very nearly put it in without knowing it. Great run there by Brady when the gap opened up. And he turned it back from the byline and somehow it hit Stapleton on the heels. And Parks was grateful to grab it. Now can Gibbons get in there? No, because the whistle had gone. The referee won't hear him. And Fintock just kneeing that one away for Webb. Masson and Bowles getting short shrift there from two Arsenal tackles, one after the other. And Peter Story's name is going into the book, I think. The second successive day it'll be that Story has been booked. But I think first of all the trainer's got to come on to look after that injured Rangers player. Story being called to the referee, booked yesterday at Ipswich and booked here today. The third time in fact in 23 minutes that the referee has felt the need to speak to Peter Story. And if you could lip read that, I'm not telling you any more. Well, the words of referee Gow from Swansea to Peter Story. While Bowles at least is on his feet now. And I think he'll be fit to go on. So Bowles all right to go on. And a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. Brady, or rather Story, down again towards Kidd. And Masson letting that run to Francis. Here's Dave Clement. Ball, a nice little flick there by Alan Ball. Beautifully played there for Brady. Armstrong going hard into the box. Brady shot, oh, and a great save. I think people may have been expecting Brady to curl that one into where Armstrong was running in the far post. But he let fly, and Parks made a superb save. Parks, who made one or two tremendous saves yesterday against Norwich City. One in particular against Ted McDougall from a flying header. Had another beauty there and has more problems here. Particularly if O'Leary can turn it back, which he can't because Gibbons is there. Story hoping to turn that in again. Nelson, not very much space there. Still got round them, but couldn't get it over without the ball going out of play, and a goal kick to Rangers. Referee running across to Sammy Nelson. A little bit of refereeing there actually, because I think Sammy Nelson said something to the linesman there, and the referee quietly went across and had a word with Sammy Nelson about that without making any fuss about it. There's Nelson again. Giving the ball away this time to Francis. Brady really tackling back hard, and Brady having a good game for Arsenal. Here's Story, and now here's Brady again. That's a lovely ball again for him, for George Armstrong. Crossed in once more towards Stapleton, and Ball will hope to get in there, and somehow Park saved it again. Great ball by Brady. Good cross there by Armstrong. Stapleton up well, and Ball almost able to force it in before Parks had the last word. So another corner for Arsenal. Again, just giving Armstrong an extra yard to try and get that ball in. Oh, and another great save by Parks, this time from O'Leary. Well, the young centre-half caught that beautifully. It came through a crowd of players. Parks couldn't possibly have seen that to the last possible split second, but still reacted quickly enough to get it away. Another corner for Arsenal. And Parks, the man they've got to beat. Armstrong with this corner again, floating it in, and this time the fist of Parks gets it away. Bowles, played to Gibbons. What a good ball there by Gibbons. We're seeing some beautiful crossfield balls today. That one to Thomas. And look who was right back there to get his all in for Arsenal. The little number 7, George Armstrong. Leary. Arsenal's throw. Brady, Webb turning it skillfully wide there for Hollins. Bowles. Brady on for ball. Nelson's gone up too. Here's Nelson. Kids outside him and Stapleton's through the middle. And again that man Parks has stopped them. There really seems to be no beating of Phil Parks this afternoon. That was a lovely Arsenal move, half the length of the field, leaving Stapleton with a chance to go through the gap, hit his drive perfectly, and Parks was equal to it again. What a fantastic game Phil Parks is having. Play on, I think the referee's saying. No, he's not, he's given a free kick. So Arsenal with a chance to plant this ball into the area, Armstrong having 2 goes at it, and Hollins and Francis eventually getting it back to Phil Parks. As the whistle goes for half-time, with no goals, and the best possible reason for that is the brilliant form of Phil Parks. He saved 4 that looked unstoppable, but each time that massive frame of his got in the way, his superb reflexes, keeping Queen's Park Rangers very much in this game after a goalless first half. A lot more to come today, of course, but the half-time score at Highbury in this important First Division game. Arsenal 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0. We'll be right back with the second half.
Second roll to TX. Second roll to TX.
To Highbury for the second half. Queen's Park Rangers now attacking the goal to our right. Gibbons in there very quickly. Now Nelson. Beating Francis with great ease there. No goals in the first half, and indeed it's a rather depressing fact that there have been only 4 goals in 5 London First Division derbies so far this season. All because of one man really here today. Yes, that's him, Phil Parks. Flick that through for Brady, and it hasn't gone yet for Arsenal as it comes to Alan Ball. Now maybe for Stapleton, and finally for Ball! Well, inside the first minute of the second half, Arsenal at last have found a way past Phil Parks, and it seemed that the ball would never go in. It was flicking around there for so long. and eventually it came to Alan Ball, and he lashed it in. Arsenal 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Alan Ball, the man who got it, and a man beaten at last, Phil Parkes, who had no chance. Well, here's Ball in the action again. 2 points so precious for Arsenal, lying 5 off the bottom. Lost 3 of their last 4 games. Armstrong. Stapleton. Look at Rice right in there. And some pushing there on McClintock. So great relief there in that Arsenal bench, particularly from Bobby Campbell on the left, the coach. Fred Street alongside him. Peter Simpson, you can see the substitute in the back. Clement. Ball again getting there. And again. Masson trying to play it short and giving it to Brady. Really has enjoyed himself today, Brady. But he didn't enjoy that very much. And I think Clement's probably caught him as he tumbled over him. And Clement is being pulled across. Referee Bilgao making sure that Brady's all right. And Clement being called across to referee Bilgao. Just a Stern talking to. I think Brady's all right. In fact, he's lining up the free kick now. 3 men in the wall, joined by Francis. Peter Story is the interloper. Just a slight gap there. Brady chipping over it. It's a good one too! My goodness. Stapleton was very nearly in there on the far post. That was a lovely floated free kick there from Brady. And a very dangerous looking flying header there from Stapleton that was just wide. Clement couldn't keep it in. It's a throw. Ball making another good run, but he couldn't quite get there. Webb was there for Rangers. Francis. Rice got that one away. Must have just clipped Terry Francis because it's an Arsenal throw. Good skill again, beating Thomas. Another come for Brady. That's a good piece of play by Brady and another very good save by Parkes. Lovely bit of skill there by Nelson that started the whole thing off. And Brady took it on well. And Parkes also took it well. Arsenal playing obviously much better than they did yesterday at Ipswich. I suppose Jerry Francis has got to get his side going, but the longer it goes on, the more you think it's got to be maybe an individual flash of skill from the likes of Stan Bowles that will sort something out for QPR. Bowles, who took a knock in the first half, of course, and failing to make a contact there. And it's with Gillard. Played on for Bowles that time, and Gillard taking it up well. Now this time for Hollins. There's his shot, and well saved by Rimmer. Actually, Rimmer had made his angle well, but it was a good build-up there by Rangers. Hollins taking that pass well. Kidd, back for Grady. Lovely ball there to Armstrong. Ball trying to play it on, and Armstrong got there too. Stapleton dropped over it, and McClintock was equal to it. Story the ball. Nice little ball there again to Stapleton. What a good turn by him. And a shot that Parkes just grabbed out of the air as Kidd came in. Well, the hallmark of that move was a lovely turn by Stapleton. And another very efficient piece of goalkeeping by Phil Parks. Now Nelson. Cut out by Webb. Now Gibbons is after this one. And he might be in with a chance now, Gibbons. A little chip. Oh, and it was a fraction too high. Not out of play yet there, as Thomas can turn it back, which he does. Oh, and beautifully punched up, almost away, as Bowles got that header in. And Rimmer recovered remarkably quickly. Oh, when Thomas turned that back again, Bowles went flying in with the header. Rimmer punched it up in the air, and the defender helped him to get it away for this corner. Thomas with it towards the near post. That looked like handball by Gibbons, but obviously it couldn't have been. McClintock chasing back. Arsenal's throw. Thomas, Gibbons. Rangers very subdued up front this afternoon. Nice dummy there by Francis, and now here's Bowles on for Francis. And over the back. Bit of quick thinking there by Francis, dummying around that ball, and Bowles playing it on for him to Francis to continue that run. Inside the last 20 minutes now. Ball. Linesman flagging on the far side for an offside against Brian Kidd. Hollins. That's not a bad ball there by Hollins. If Gibbons can collect, that was a good defence too by Powling, but the whistle had gone in any case. Francis. A bit of play there by Francis. What a lovely piece of play by the England captain there. And a good save too, and it might come for Thomas. Driven and somehow deflected away. Oh, Rangers waking up a little bit now. A sign of the linesman, and for making a sign of the linesman, Stan Bowles, his name goes into the book. Will go down in the book as dissent. And the linesman also, of course, recording that incident. O'Leary with the free kick for Arsenal. Gillard, Gibbons, Clintock, Thomas, Gillard again. Still with Gillard. He wants it on that left foot, and he couldn't get it there. sliding that into the path of Brian Kidd. Oh, and he went under Parks! Brian Kidd, the scorer. And you would not believe it, would you? The ups and downs of goalkeeping. The man who kept Rangers in the game with 3 or 4 magnificent saves in the first half, conceded one about which he could do nothing, and then as the ball is played on to Brian Kidd from Alan Ball, Parks allowed the ball to go under his body, and that makes it Arsenal 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Brian Kidd the scorer. Poor old Phil Parks, who'd be a goalkeeper. And the scoreline really reflecting the way the game should have gone. Arsenal much more aggressive, much more competitive it seems, and Rangers, so far at any rate, have shown nothing like their true form. So Bobby Campbell on the left, the Arsenal coach, I would think, much happier. Here's Stapleton. Brady. Stapleton. And Parks down again. Well, he took that superbly. To Rice, into Ball again. Armstrong, who really hasn't stopped running. He really has had a fine game, George Armstrong. And I think there were those earlier on this season thought that his days at Arsenal, certainly in the first team, were just about over. Well, he certainly disproved that. Rice going just there a little too fast to get that ball in effectively. Francis. Hitting the ball long here to Thomas. Masson right in the middle there now. The last seconds, the referee not looking at his watch yet though, so there'll still be time for Rangers as Gibbons. Oh, and his crossing has been pretty poor all afternoon, Don Gibbons. Had a very subdued game, as indeed most of the Rangers men up front. So it's another goal kick. Two important points for Arsenal to help ease their woes, with Alan Ball having scored within 50 seconds in the start of the second half, and Brian Kidd having got the second one close to the end. Just when it seemed that Frank McClintock in that Rangers defence wouldn't be beaten, above all because Phil Parks, their goalkeeper, was in such splendid form. How ironical that that second goal should have passed under his body and into the net. So there we are then, Arsenal, an important win for them by 2 goals to 0. The final score, just that check on it again as we leave Highbury. Arsenal 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0.
So Arsenal fans breathe a little easier after that one. And now let's meet our 2 guests from that game. Liam Brady, arguably Arsenal's man of the match, although Alan Ball also had a tremendous game. And Phil Parks. Phil, I thought you were going to be the man of the match until that little accident close to the end. Liam, let's come to you first of all, because it was a remarkable transformation by Arsenal. You'd played so poorly, apparently, against Ipswich the previous day. How did that come about, do you think?
Well, it was Ipswich, really. They pressurised us a lot, and we never really settled down. But yesterday we tried to do the same to Queen's Park Rangers.
But did you get a bit of a roasting from Bobby Campbell and Bertie Mee? Did that?
Yeah, we got told off. I half expected it, mate.
Yeah. What, that you weren't putting enough effort maybe into the game on Friday?
Well, yeah, our attitude and the way we applied ourselves.
Yeah.
He told us off about that, and we rectified it.
Certainly did. Because I thought, Phil, that QPR really didn't look like a championship side yesterday.
No, we really didn't click as a side at all yesterday.
Was that you were hustled out of it by Arsenal, or what?
I think so, yeah. We let them play a little bit, and they took it from there. whereas normally we sort of do the same to Arsenal as they did to us. Yeah.
The great thing about Arsenal, I think, at the moment, they're going through this difficult period, Liam, but they've got the courage to try a lot of youngsters. I mean, you're only 19 yourself. What about some of the other youngsters who are...
Well, we've got 4 or 5, you know, who are in and out of the team, who were in and out of the team last season, but now are having a long run. Dave O'Leary and Richard Powell, for example, you know, at the back, they're playing really great.
Frank Stapleton.
Frank Stapleton has come in again yesterday, and he's proved that, you know, he's going to be a really good centre forward.
We've got 1 or 2 very good examples of the way you Arsenal youngsters got on well together, and the first clip, in fact, is involving you as well, Liam. Just tell us what happens here deep in the...
Well, I tried to pressurise Jerry Francis as much as I could, and he gave the ball away to Frank Stapleton. Frank Stapleton ever so well pushed it back to Peter Storey. Peter Storey played it to me, and I looked up just there and I seen Geordie Armstrong over on the right wing.
What a great game he had as well, didn't he, Geordie?
Oh, he's fantastic. You know, he's a dream to play with.
Yeah.
Helps you out ever so much. He give a great cross down, Frank jumps well and directs a header down to Alan Ball, who nearly nicked in and got a goal.
You look a bit angry here, Phil.
Yeah, well, I think Davy Webb he tried to clear that there, and with the pressure of Alan Ball, he just missed out there.
Now this is Liam again.
Well, I was going to take Frank McClintock on here till Frank Stapleton run across me, so I just decided to belt it. And it was going outside the post, but started to swerve in, and I thought Phil left it just that little bit too late, and I was about to rejoice when...
Are they moving about? They're moving about in the air a bit, these balls, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Well, I find they are.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, I expect you find they are as well, Phil.
Yeah, hell of a lot now. Yeah. I don't know whether it's the reduced pressure or what, but they certainly moved yesterday anyway.
Yeah. Which would you have regarded as your best save yesterday?
Perhaps that one there, because it did move in the air, and I was at one side of the goal and I had to get right across to the other side.
But I think the most spectacular from a lot of people, from the layman's point of view, if I can put it that way, is one you made from a close range from David O'Leary, following a corner coming up now. Tell us about this one, Phil.
Yes, well, the corner comes across there. They all jump and miss it. He controls it ever so well there, and sort of turns it on the volley. A really great shot, but really it's straight at me there. Although that was sort of in slow motion, it was, you know, came very quick. It's still more or less straight at you, and it's just a pure reflex save. You don't really know much about them. No.
We've got to come to that moment though now, haven't we? About 9 minutes from the end.
Yeah.
What on earth happened there?
I don't really know, to tell you the truth. I thought I had the ball at one stage, and I couldn't believe it when I hadn't got it.
Shall we have a look at it again?
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
In fact, it looked to me very much as though Frank McClintock may have got in your way a little bit.
Well, Frank was directly between the ball and myself.
Nice ball from Alan Ball then.
Yeah, yes, and Kiddy does well. Actually, I wasn't expecting him to shoot there. As you see, I'm not really ready until sort of there, and he hits it now, and you know, he just goes past Frank's leg. I seem to see it a little bit late, and I don't know, Christ, I just went round all wrong. And, you know, I couldn't believe it when it was in the back of the net. It actually hit me on the arm and bounced down behind me.
Yeah. When would you have last made a mistake like that? Because I think most professionals, Liam, regard this fellow as a pretty consistent goalkeeper and consistently good, don't they?
Well, I think he's one of the best in the game anyway. Yeah.
So when did you last make an error like that?
A direct shot like that, I can't honestly remember, really. I don't think I've let one in for Queen's Park Rangers like that.
No.
For a long while anyway.
Let's go to a personal note very quickly, Liam, because you've got a couple of brothers who used to play for QPR, I think. In fact, I mentioned a couple of years ago that you came from Belfast, and I think half the Republic of Ireland wrote to me and said you were a Dublin lad, and that you've got a couple of brothers who played for QPR and for Millwall.
Yes, my brother Ray and my brother Pat played with Millwall and Queen's Park Rangers.
Did you know that, Phil, by the way?
I didn't actually, no. Until you mentioned it just.
What are they doing now?
Well, Ray is a publican in Sevenoaks, and Pat's teaching in Germany.
And I think pretty pleased with the way the young brother's getting on as well.
Well, I hope so anyway.
Do they watch you at all?
Ray watches me every time we play at Highbury. Yeah.
And the point about you, Phil, is that people mentioned about your odd boots yesterday on the programme, at least last weekend on the programme.
Yeah.
And before they get on about your gloves, tell us about these strange gloves that you wear.
Oh, these.
You got them there with you?
Yeah, I've got the gloves here. Yeah, they're German actually. They made the German third choice goalkeeper Clef, who plays for Mönchengladbach. He sort of sponsors them, you know, puts his name to them. And when we played over there at pre-season, he he lent me a pair at half time because mine weren't doing too good, and he gave them to me after the game. And
what's the point about the padding on the back?
Well, I think it's just to stop the ball from slipping when you punch
when
the
you
ball.
punch it. And on the front, they seem to be very padded as well.
Yeah, it's a special material. It sort of holds the water.
Can you turn it towards the camera? Let people have a look at that.
Yeah, it holds the water, and for some reason or other, they're fantastic. It's like glue. Yeah. And Dave Sexton's got a lot of contacts in Germany, and he sends away for them.
So the man with odd boots and strange gloves.
That's it, yeah.
Had a brilliant game yesterday, apart from that one moment. And so did you as well, Liam. Thank you very much indeed, both of you, for coming and joining us on the big match today.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much. Before we move on to our second game, in fact, we just got to look at a little newspaper cutting, in fact, that we spotted last night from the classified edition of the Evening News, some new football tactics at Highbury. To me, it's a technical marvel, the way those newspapers are ever produced. But what about this for a paragraph? Don Givens had a chance, but O'Leary tickled him and quickly put the ball out of play. I thought we'd seen everything, but obviously we hadn't. Let's move on to our second game now. A mighty clash between the top two in the second division, between Bolton Wanderers, who were lying second, and Sunderland, the leaders. There was a crowd of 42,000 at Burnden Park for this one. How like the old days that must have seemed. And really they had some good quality football too. Just listen now to the Bolton manager Ian Greaves describing one of the day's goals.
What about our first goal? I mean,
Sam Allardyce.
Well, I think I played against John Charles once, or admired him, but if he got a header in better than that, then I've got to see it.
Well, you can see for yourself now as we go across to Burnden Park. Bolton against Sunderland. The pictures come from Granada Television. The commentators, Gerald Sinstadt, Bolton are in the white shirts.
Easy for Bolton. Joe Bolton, that is. Holden. Watmore taken away from him by Towers for Malone. Towers. Henderson faced by Greaves. And playing another cross with Kerr coming in. Holden. And the back heel puts it in. But offside. Offside given. As Holden worked an opening for himself, laid it across the 6-yard area, Finney's little back heel beats it all, but not the linesman's flag. Thompson. Jones. That'll be a corner. Paul Jones in the number 5 shirt coming up as number 11 Peter Thompson goes out to take the corner. Jones on the goal line there. Half an hour gone. The corner swinging in towards Allardyce. Allardyce coming again. And it's in! Put in by Watmore. Referees say no. The referee has disallowed it. It came over from the corner. Allardyce had a go. There was then something like a rugby scrum as they tried to heel it out, and presumably it was there that the infringement occurred before the ball came through and Watmore poked it past Montgomery. Allardyce for Siddle. It's a good throw by the keeper. Sets Ritson away with Greaves outside him. Byram, Reed, Jones, good control, but chase it rather a long way in the end. And back in a beautiful ball with Greaves coming in there. Header by Ritson for Greaves, good save! Hooked off the line by Robson, and Montgomery goes down on it. All starting from a great ball by Gary Jones. Greaves was going round, then Montgomery got behind the shot, and somewhere there was another infringement, and Sunderland get relief from a free kick. Kerr. Malone had come forward well. Kerr's little chip, touch on by Finney for Kerr again. Lovely lob. Kerr started it,
with that very clever little lob to Finney. Finney gave it back. Kerr took it, aimed for the chip over the goalkeeper's hands, but pulled it wide. Free kick given. Towers to take it. The tall Holden right at the back of the penalty area, ready for a run. Robson at the near post, but it's aimed towards Kerr, in fact, and it's an own goal, put in, I think, by Allardyce. But as the free kick came over, Kerr came steaming in, and Allardyce, forced to go back to cover, hit it like a bullet past Sidor. Thompson and Reed. Ritson. Thompson taking on Kerr. The second tackle was by Finney, and it concedes the corner. Paul Jones has gone up into the goal mouth as Thompson takes the corner. And in comes Allardyce! What a happy boy! Fine, hard-driven corner by Thompson, and Sam Allardyce came bulleting in on it, and Montgomery had no chance. Watmore, Gary Jones, Thompson, Reed. Reed's cross, and the header is in! The big smile from John Byram as he nods in the easiest of crosses. Just came through into the gap, completely unmarked, and it was an easy header for him, past Montgomery.
Well, some thrilling stuff there. And now at the top of the second division, Sunderland and Bolton locked together, each with 33 points. I'm glad to say that the action on the programme is so good today that I hope you'll excuse us if we give the letters a miss for just 1 week, because now we have to get straight on to our third game, and now everybody is beginning to notice the surge to the top of Leeds United. And yesterday Leeds were at home to Leicester City, a game that pulled in a crowd of 45,000, and I can assure you that they're going to be back for a bit more as well. Judge for yourself then as the pictures come from Yorkshire Television. Commentators Keith Macklin, Leeds United in white.
Gray inside the area, Clark with a clear shooting chance. And the deflection coming out to Eddie Gray. The deflection off Wallet. Eddie Gray, and it's behind. For a corner, the referee says that it hit a Leicester defender on its way behind, and it's a corner kick. Excitement in both penalty areas, both sides spraying the ball around. Both taking their shots, both looking good. Lonimer's cross. Hunter chasing for it in the penalty area. Getting it over. Off the line! Hunter was almost on the score sheet then. Lonimer curling it just past. Well, we've had more good efforts in this game with no goals than we've had in some 90-minute matches. Even the goalkeeper applauded. Mark Wallington was applauding then. Wellington leaning on Rini. Bremner Bremner takes the kick very quickly to Hunter. Bremner back to Madeley. To Hunter. All the action inside the Leicester half at the moment. All the players except Harvey. Up for Mackenzie. Lorimer slipped past the tackle of Samuels. Low, right across the goal. Everybody 5 yards ahead of that pass. Garland, the miss kick. Leeds going forward again. There might have been a goal down in the first minute. They might have had one or two themselves. Lorimer, Madeley. A game of so much action, a goal must come soon. Here's Mackenzie. Putting it back. Samuels. Didn't know much about that, but got to it. Clark! Goal! As the ball bounced, Alan Clark turned. Hit it hard and low, and Mark Wallington could do nothing about it. Bremner scooting down the middle. It was Samuels who cut it out only as far as Cherry. Lorimer trying at 1-2-3 with Bremner. Cherry shot, and Wallington a fine save. Trevor Cherry, the man who rattled that. Reaney. Bremner. Cherry looking for Clark. Roth, the defender. Bremner. Mackenzie. Clark. Lorimer. Mackenzie bring it down. Good goal! That's the sort of goal that Duncan Mackenzie conjures up like a conjurer taking a rabbit out of a hat. Duncan Mackenzie, back to goal, looked as if the chance had gone. Suddenly Powett's in the top right-hand corner. Hunter. Alderson thought that might have gone out of play. Eddie Gray. Eddie Gray getting past even a foul challenge. And a good low cross. Lorimer 3! The Leicester defence getting in a terrible tangle, but give maximum credit to Eddie Gray for that. Eddie Gray had about 6 inches of touchline. A desperate and probably foul tackle from Alderson to contend with. Got the ball over, and while Lockley and his fellow defenders got in an awful tangle, Peter Lorimer applied the toe end. Well, we've had quarter of an hour of the second half. Bremner winning that from Lee, and he's in a tight corner too. Oh, surely Samuels! No, couldn't do it. Bremner gave him the Christmas present. Weller. Well, John Samuels, probably to his own surprise, found himself inside the 6-yard box. Billy Bremner offered it to him gift-wrapped, but he couldn't take it. Takes it past Rowe. Clark hustled by Rowe, holding it. And past the challenge of Weller to Bremner. Norman Hunter moving forward on the left. Eddie Gray. And this time Alderson does manage to get in the tackle, but the Leicester defence looks... Oh, easy! Mackenzie, what a gift. Poor Keith Weller. sorry to labour the pun about Christmas presents, but when you get one easier and more gift wrapped than that one. All Duncan McKenzie had to do was walk it round the goalkeeper for his second goal of the match and Leeds 4. 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Harris to Clark to Harris. Bremner to Clark. Inside is Lorimer. Oh my word.
So that's it. Next week, of course, it's the Cup, something we shall reflect fully in On the Ball next Saturday lunchtime, and the big match, of course, next Sunday afternoon at a new time of 2:05. 2:05 next Sunday. Well, we wish you all a very happy new year and leave you today with that old football saying that goalkeepers are crazy. Today, our guest Phil Parkes might even agree. Some stunning saves, Phil, and then that nightmare moment in the match at Highbury yesterday.
Brady shot, and a great save. Oh, and another great save by Parkes, this time from O'Leary. And again, that man Parkes has stopped him. Webb. Oh, he dallied too long there. Here's ball. Sliding that into the path of Brian Kidd.